Hello, welcome to the Trauma Bond with Theresa Bateman podcast. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Theresa Bateman, and every week I'm going to sit down with a member of my creative community to discuss our traumas, big and small. From the petty to the PTSD to the punchlines of our best jokes, the issues of today, our triggers of the week, and our most problematic opinions, and ultimately how we find the funny in the bad shit that's happened to us. In the end, we'll form a lasting bond. A trauma bond. Sit back, listen, and bond with us, won't you?
And light another dude, cause it's what? It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Trauma Bond with Theresa Bateman. Today, I am joined by one of my favorite people in Los Angeles, one of my dearest, oldest LA friends, playwright and actor. His first play, A Finger Pointing at the Moon, had two, not one, but two sold-out runs last year, and his most recent work, Mommy, was presented at REDCAT this past November. I did see it. It was incredible. Please join me in welcoming Orin Calcagne.
Hello.
Yay. Hi. How are
Hi.
you doing today after all these fucking crazy technical errors we've been dealing with?
I'm extremely relaxed because they were not my technical errors. So I had no stress.
You had no stress, but you could see me being absolutely out of my fucking mind. I was like short circuiting. I was like, this can't be happening.
I knew it was all going to work out for the best.
Yeah. And that's the kind of mindset I'd like to get in line with. Something calm. I'm like, oh, I don't need to panic spiral, because guess what? We could also just do this another day.
Yeah.
This is no one's giving me deadlines but me. I'm insane. Okay. Well, welcome. I'm so happy to have you today, and I'm so happy you're here.
Me too.
Would you want to share with me and with the listeners what might be your trigger of the week? Anything that's been really grinding your gears this week, making you annoyed, pissed, freaked out?
Yeah, when I was thinking about this question, the first thing that came to mind was just my own mind. My own mind has been my trigger of the week. I have been just really ruminating, talking to people who are not there, really getting in full ass fights with people who are not there, screaming at the top of my lungs, and then banging on my head and going, stop it, stop it, stop it, get present. So I'm working on it though. I decided to get grounded, and so I'm doing that now.
That's
But yeah,
incredible.
just myself.
Shout out to fights that have not happened that you have with someone in your head.
Ooh, because I'm so mad about some stuff. Because now I'm remembering. Because I'm like, oh yeah, what was I mad about? Now I remember, and I'm fucking pissed again.
Wait, can you tell us without naming names what you're so mad about?
And I'll name names.
Okay, great. No, please. Okay, let's
for this
fucking
one
go.
thing, I will name names because actually this is infuriating to me. I was writing for this rom-com podcast for like the last 6 years, and it's basically like a scam where it's a startup. It's a podcast that's a startup. So like the woman who's the CEO of the podcast, already a red flag. There shouldn't be a CEO, but she's the CEO of the podcast. And she used to work for Goldman Sachs. And so basically like the way it's structured is she got like investors. And so they've never cared about the content. They just have cared about
the money,
the algorithm basically. And so for the last 6 years, every time I write for them, it's like they're always like evolving, and I'm always adapting with their evolution, and it's always some new BS. And basically the last 2 years, it's been really hard for me to get work from them because they like restructured and blah, blah, blah. They've just been giving me the runaround for a while.
Yeah.
Then in July, they called me. They're like, we got acquired by Fox. And now we're going to be doing no longer podcasts, but vertical videos, which already I'm like, that is satanic. I have never used ChatGPT in my life. I don't engage with AI. I think it is disgusting and evil.
I agree with you.
I think that if you're a creative person and you're using AI, you need to get fucking real.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
already screaming.
No, I love this.
I'm
Go
gripping the
the fuck
microphone
off.
so tight, screaming at the top of my lungs, blowing
Go
out the microphone.
off.
Disgusting. I think vertical videos are poisoning the minds of children. Like
100%.
your aim when you're making that shit is to ruin children's brains and
Yes.
program them to only look at their phones.
Yep.
I think it is repulsive, but they were like the first one of our podcasts, our first IP that Fox wants to turn into a vertical video series is something you wrote because it's about werewolves. And vertical videos love werewolves. And I was like, oh, cool. So they're like, yeah, and you'll make like X amount of money. And it was like a large amount of money. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I guess why not? Like, even though I'm completely disgusted by this, I'll work on this pitch. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll make more money this year doing this because they're also, whatever. I've been working on this pitch with them since July for
Oh my
$0
God. No.
because the not a promise, but kind of like the implication was once this gets through, you will then make $7,000 writing this thing that would be really easy to write. They emailed me a couple days ago and they go, so actually, we're only going to be working with writers who are seasoned in the vertical space.
Absolutely the fuck
and we're going
not.
to table this for now, but blah, blah, blah. I've been writing for them for 6 years. So first I'm furious about that. Then I go back and I reread an addendum to a contract that they had me like re-sign a contract. And when I reread the addendum, I realized that what they had me sign was an agreement that my outlines would be considered scripts, and scripts in the original contract are things that they own and they can do whatever they want with. So what I realized is I just did all this free work and they're probably just going to put my outline through AI and just so I realized I got fucking scammed so bad by these people that I've been working for years.
No, that's so fucked up.
I sent them an email kind of being like, I'm extremely frustrated, blah, 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 blah. But now once I reread the contract thing, now I'm going to send them another email next week that's like, actually, fuck you and never contact me again. Because
I want you to read me that email when you send it, because I
I'll
want you
send
to
it
do a
to you.
dramatic reading over voice memos.
I will.
to
That
me,
can be the
please.
bonus content is I'll read the emails.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Because
that's so funny.
my first email was very bound. I had a draft of it that was like, rah, 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 and then I just made it very boundaried where I was like, I am frustrated by this, and I am frustrated by this, and I am frustrated by this, and I have done really good work for this amount. And now I'm like, actually, fuck you, because the other thing that pisses me off is my like direct boss here. She's a lesbian woman, and my first meeting with her like a year and a half ago, I'm like, here's what I bring to the company. Like, I bring like queer stories to the rom-com space. And she was like, well, actually, we're trying to move away from that and do some more traditional stories. So I was like, don't worry, I can write straight stories as well. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? And now I'm like, okay, you as a lesbian, first of all, said that, and then stole my creative force and my IP. You stole from a transgender person.
Yeah.
You
classic.
as a lesbian. How dare you?
You as a lesbian should know better, but no.
Let the straight people ruin the world. Why are you doing this to
And that's
me?
on Coporate Gays.
Period.
Because I'm like, you're just
No, exactly.
the assimilation. It's like once it's all fucking optics at a certain point. Because once you're
Exactly.
in the corporate world, it's like
You're a
like
traitor.
you're a fucking traitor, and you're
traitor.
like, I'm gay, or like
My eyes are filling up with tears in this Zoom right now because of what Trump is doing to our community.
Right.
No, you are doing it.
No,
you are
and
complicit.
you need to look in the fucking mirror
No,
and be
seriously.
accountable. No, but I'm
actually I'm dead serious. I'm so pissed. I would rather be poor than be a traitor.
No, that's how I feel. I feel so, and no, we're like, let's
so
go.
Much hotter. I thought I was gonna be like, la, la, la.
No, this is perfect. I love this energy. It's like really amping me up. I'm like, I feel like, having worked in corporate America on and off for like the last decade, I am disgusted.
It's
I feel like
disgusting.
a fucking freak there. I'm the only person, not the only person, but I'm one of like very few people who feels the way I feel and expresses the way that I feel and
Mhm.
how fucked up shit is and like what are we doing and calling things out internally that I'm like this doesn't make fucking sense. And then I have like it's like me and my three friends have to like whisper to each other about how we feel about stuff because then there's other people like, "Oh, and we're just doing such, you know, we're doing such great things for the Black community and for the gay community,
No, you're
LGBTQ
not.
community." And I'm like,
No, you're not.
you're actually just like looking at analytics and making soulless content.
You're
Go
harming
fuck yourself.
everyone, including yourselves.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, how is this? I don't know. It's just like the corporate gay girl boss queen. Like,
It's crazy. And she told me, and I'm not naming the company's name and I'm not saying her name, but she
yeah,
told me that in her contract, it said that she's not allowed to make any art of any genre while she's under her name, while she's working there as like a non-compete clause.
what?
And that to me, when she told me that, I was like, oh, it's so over for you.
Yeah,
Like the
no.
fact that you signed that, because I applied for her job
Mm,
and I didn't
thank
get it.
fucking
And
God
I
you
remember
didn't.
being really insulted because I was like, I've been here for a really long time. Like, I could do that job. And now I'm like, oh, period. I could never participate in these satanic rituals.
Absolutely. No, it's really dark, and I do have
So,
to like fully dissociate when I go to work most of the
yeah.
time.
And I don't know what she's saying behind closed doors or, what maybe she's
Maybe
fighting
she's fighting the good
for.
fight.
No way. If she was
No.
fighting the good fight, she'd quit.
Everyone, exactly.
She'd
Everyone's
quit and
too
she'd stop
scared.
lying to my face. And she would have answered my email I sent her 4 days
Have some
ago.
fucking conviction. Quit your job, bitch. Quit your fucking job if
Quit your
you.
job, pig. That's what I say whenever a police officer drives by. I go, quit your job, pig.
I give them the dirtiest looks, and I'm like, and I know I could probably get away with it because I'm a white woman, but I.
Well,
But
now I guess transgender people are like terrorists, domestic terrorists.
dude,
They like are putting out like a list or something. I don't
yeah,
know. My
no,
girlfriend was like
it's
reading from the LA Times. I was like,
yeah, it's so weird to be like this little guy. You
I
think this little
know.
guy's a terrorist?
Well,
Like you're talking about my friend? Like what?
I guess I won't say publicly that I'm a terrorist, but if the shoe
uh,
fits, I guess.
yeah, hey, we get political on here. It's totally fine. And I
Anyway,
honestly, when people are called like climate terrorists, I'm like,
N-
listen to
no,
yourself.
no. Everyone else is the climate
Everyone
terrorist.
else is the climate.
These
They're
people
literally
are
trying to be
literally,
like,
yeah.
hello, we're gonna all die if we don't maybe change some things. And they're like, oh, why
Mm.
are you making me feel bad on my way to work this morning? I just want to enjoy my coffee and my TikTok. Like, shut the fuck up.
TikTok should be exploded. I don't have one. I've never had one. That should not exist.
It's so funny. I made a TikTok account during the pandemic solely because Tolliver and I were still dating at the time. And Tolliver was signed to this record label that was like, you need to start making TikToks of your songs so that we can like get you
Totally.
out there, blah, blah, blah. And he also like, I mean, he has fun doing creative shit on any kind of social media platform, but it was very much like a soulless, like, ugh, I have to do this for the record label. And so I made a TikTok just so I could follow him on TikTok and
Yeah.
like all his posts to like try to help boost the algorithm. So now my TikTok exists in this weird realm of like, there was that phase. Then there was like about a year and a half ago where I was like in ACA and I was like, I'm trying to heal my inner child and I'm just going to be silly on the internet where no one's paying attention to me. And so then there was that little moment. And now I literally will log on maybe like once a week or every 2 weeks and have a million messages from my high school best friend Alicia just sending me TikToks she thinks I would like. And then I'm trying to post clips of the podcast.
Listen, some of them are hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I get sent TikToks where I'm like, this is awesome. But I'm like, no, it's ruining the brains of children.
It's ruining the brains of
And
children.
that's where I draw the line.
No, I agree.
I
with
know
you
we have a lot
completely.
of friends who have done amazing things on TikTok.
Absolutely.
But it should be exploded. And we should not be making content.
No.
We should be creating
Creating
beautiful
art. No, that's how I feel. And honestly, seeing your both mommy and finger pointing at the moon, I'm so serious, were such like inspirational moments for me personally. I mean, I've always loved the art you create and perform. Like, truly, you're one of the, I mean, we met at fucking Rafa's
Yes,
back in
we
like 2016
did.
when I was hosting an open mic there on Wednesdays, and you always tickled me. I was always like, this person is special and so insane in the best way. And then seeing like how your artistry has grown, and then getting to see like an original play is so fucking cool. And I was like, this is what it's all about, man. Being together in a room,
Period.
witnessing something
Yeah.
new, creative art that is fucking like hilarious and also thought provoking and also insane, and then like having this experience together. It's just, there's really nothing like it. Okay. Whew, I'm amped.
Me
But
too.
moving
My
on
heart's
to another
racing.
question. Can you tell us about a time you maybe were in a social gathering or in a group of people, and you just jumped at the opportunity to tell a story that you were certain would like make everyone laugh, but everyone was just kind of like, what? Are you okay?
I can't think of any like specifics necessarily, but I feel like this was just every day in high school. Like I was like really trying to be funny and trying to like tell stories about like my home life, and people were like, no, stop. One time I don't remember like exactly what the story was. It was something like crazy my mom did, and I was like telling my class about it, and then the next day I wound up like in the guidance counselor's office, and they're like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, yeah.
You're like, I'm literally fine. What do you
So
mean?
yeah, I feel like that
But
was
were
just
you
kind of
okay? Were you actually?
no,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
absolutely not. No, the story was definitely like my mom being like psychotic,
Yeah,
and I was just like thinking it was funny, and
yeah.
everyone was like, no, that's really upsetting.
The amount of times as an adult I've like spoken something to someone as though it's fact, something I like would hear from my mom growing up or learned from her, and
Right.
they're like, "What?" And then I think about it for a second and I go, "Oh, that was she definitely made that
Yeah,
up."
that's not real. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. That's not a
That's a
real
crazy.
thing.
One time I'm a massage therapist, and at
Mhm.
massage school, we were learning anatomy, and we're like going over like the bones, and I was like, I like raised my hand a little confused. I was like, yeah, but like men have one less rib, right? And they were like, no. And I was like, I learned that at school. I was like, what do you mean? Like, yes, they do. And they were like, no, everyone has the same amount of ribs.
You're
And
like
I was
thinking of
like,
Marilyn
but
Manson.
God took a rib from Adam to make Eve, which is why men have one less
Yeah.
rib. And they were like, that's not
And
correct.
that's on
That's
growing up
on Catholic
Catholic.
school.
Yeah, that's on Catholic
And I
school.
posted on my Instagram, and our friend Matt Legrand DM'd me and was like, oh my God, I didn't know either. He also thought men had one less rib
That's
because he
so
grew up
fun.
Christian
Yeah,
as
he grew
well.
up fucking Christian missionary.
Yeah. So
Insane. That's
yeah, that
so
was so
fucking funny. You're like,
embarrassing.
yeah, man, obviously.
I was like, so when are
Everybody
we gonna
knows
get to the part
this.
in the curriculum where we talk about how men have one less rib?
Because the way Catholic school really just weaves it in like it is
Like it's like
fact.
it is in biology class. You're like,
Yes.
right.
You're like, yeah. And they're like, obviously this, and plus Adam, but men with one less rib because Adam gave his rib for Eve to exist.
No.
And you're like, yeah, absolutely. But funny, I went to Catholic school too, but I think at a certain
Oh, I
point,
didn't know that.
yeah, I went to a Catholic school from like kindergarten to 8th grade.
Oh wow.
So like my
Yeah.
developmental years, like, but I was always very like rebellious. And once my things like just didn't, there were certain things that just didn't make sense to me, but yet I'll take things my mom says as fact that
Yeah.
is just like an old wives' tale. But like in school, once my dad died when I was in 3rd grade,
Oh
I was like, God's not real. I just went right there. So
yeah.
then I would come back to school and be like challenging everything everyone said. And I was like this little fucking bitchy ass 4th grader, like, what do you mean those gods are stupid and not real? Like, how do you know our God is real? What are you fucking talking about?
You and I would have been seriously at odds. I was
You're like, I'm
so
bought
devout.
in.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be a nun.
That's crazy,
Yeah, because I was obsessed with
really.
Mother Teresa, and I would like
Shout out.
pray the rosary, and I thought I was gonna wait until marriage to have sex until
Wow.
I was having sex for the first time, and then I was like, well, I guess not.
Wait, how old were you when you got to the point where you were like, actually, this is insane?
I think literally college. Like I think I got to
Wow.
college and just very quickly did the math and was like, I'm not gonna have any friends
Yeah.
if this is how I think and this is how I act. So I just kind of like snapped out of it.
Turns out, after all that, you're a freaky little gay guy. Like,
Right.
yet you were just so like, Yes,
I
God.
just, yeah, I think I just was kind of like turned off because
Yeah.
I was like having one experience, like I was having kind of two experiences at once
Yeah.
where I was like being gay and having, yeah, just having a gay experience,
Yeah.
but then being like, no, I'm not. Like a
Yeah.
really deep denial.
The denial of
It's intense.
it's so intense
Because
how
I
much people can lie to
remember,
themselves.
like, I would write gay, I was really into poetry,
Uh-huh.
and I would write gay poetry, but then, like, be like, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what did you mean?
You're like, well, it came from somewhere.
Right.
Like, no,
You
I was
wrote
just
that.
actually I was possessed by the devil.
I mean, it was just, like, crazy. It was crazy.
Insane. That's
So,
so funny. Did you go to Catholic high school too?
yes, I went to all girls. I
Wow.
went to, like, a very, very small, like, 10 kids in a grade, elementary school, Catholic, until seventh grade, and then seventh grade is when I went to my high school because it was 7 to 12.
Oh, okay.
So, and that was the all girls Catholic school.
That's so funny to think it was not that long prior to. I mean, I met you when you were like a senior in college, right? You were
Yeah.
like on the Emerson like LA program,
Yeah.
and to think of
Yeah.
the amount of change in that 4 years,
I know.
it's like wow.
That's, I'm sure, a large part of why my mental health was like
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's so
It's too
it's
much
crazy
culture
the
shock.
level of which you cannot know yourself
Yes.
when you're brainwashed with all these things from the time
Yes.
you're a kid. And then when you're like, I was even just having this experience last night, having some gay sex. I was every time I'm like, I'm so fucking gay. Like
It's
every time
crazy.
I'm like, oh, how did I not know how into this I could possibly be because of how much like cis heteronormative
Right.
shit is shoved in your brain from the time you're born, especially if you go to Catholic school.
Yeah.
In fucking sane. Okay. All right, we're gonna power through to another question. Can you think of something that felt really traumatic when it was happening, but now you look back and you kind of laugh, and how did you get it to a place of finding it funny?
Well, I thought of you when I was thinking of this question because you went to NYU.
I did.
And NYU was like my dream school. I wanted to go there. So I was obsessed with NYU from the time I was like 8 years old. I wanted to go to Tisch so bad.
Yeah.
I went to the pre-college program.
Wow, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, you can go there as a high schooler for the summer and like get credits and like
Oh,
be at
okay.
NYU, and it was so fun. And then I did not get in, and
Ugh.
the morning I didn't get in, I almost drove my car into a wall.
No.
Yeah, because I was like, I should kill myself.
Oh my God.
I literally, on my drive to school, was like, I'm going to drive the car full speed into a wall. And then I was like, I guess I won't. Like, I don't know why I did it. I was like, my plan. I was like, I'm going to do this. And then instead, I just went to Emerson College, which is where everyone who didn't get into NYU goes.
You know, I
And it
almost
was
went to
great.
Emerson.
Emerson was great.
Emerson, I
It
mean,
was
so
perfect.
funny enough, so my cousin Margot, who you
Yes,
also
went to
know,
Emerson.
went to Emerson, and Emerson was her dream school. And I had
Wow.
never even heard of it until she started talking about it. So I also applied because the thing about Margot and I is we were like best friends as kids, but then once my dad died, and then also her dad died a few years after that,
Yeah.
we just had this long stretch, what we call the lost years, where we didn't like see or talk to each
Right.
other at all because our moms just like didn't get us together. And
Aw.
we reconnected in high school. So when we reconnected in high school, we became back to like, oh my God, we're best friends. We're together all the time. And so then when it was senior year, we were like, we're going to go to college together. And so I also applied to Emerson, got in early admission.
Oh, wow.
And sent my deposit. I almost went there.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And then I got the letter that I got into
Ugh.
NYU like
You gotta
a
go.
couple months later, and then I had this whole like gut feeling of like
Yeah.
I gotta go there.
Yeah.
I gotta go to New York City, baby.
Oh my God. It was like the most, and my childhood was extremely traumatic, and that felt like the most traumatic thing to happen.
Yeah,
That
you're
I
like
didn't get into
after
NYU.
everything, this is
And
the
now
worst.
I'm like, it's so not a big deal, and it does not matter at all.
It literally
and
doesn't matter at all.
truly was for the best
No,
in every
100%.
way.
For
Like,
me, I'm like I'm in so much debt, and
I seriously almost killed myself.
yeah, that's like
I was going to do it. And then another thing that's kind of funny is then when I was at Emerson, I still was like suicidal. And my suicide plan was to jump off of the Mass Ave bridge, which is not that high. Like, it just goes into the river. You could easily jump off that bridge and you'd just be cold.
You just don't. Yeah, you're like, oh, this didn't go the way I wanted.
The amount of times
I
was like walking to the bridge being like, tonight's the night.
The way that would happen.
And that would not have worked. And I remember like when I finally got a therapist, I was like, yeah, my plan is to jump off the Mass Ave bridge. She was like, okay, well, the problem is that you have a plan. It's not whether or not it would work.
The fact that you're thinking about it that seriously, we're gonna have to
not a
tell
high
some people,
bridge at all.
get you some help.
Easily survive.
You want to know that's so fucking funny. I can't.
I think you could dive off of it and survive. Like, I think it's like, yeah, it's totally fine. It's no big deal.
I've got just a touch of hypothermia, but I'm otherwise good.
Yeah, you'll be totally fine.
Boston is such an. You want to know what the story is that got me into Tisch though?
Because they ask you
to write, like, it's like you have to submit a bunch. I can't remember all the other things, but I knew I had to submit like a short story, and it was a short story I wrote based on my real life experience of I went to a performing arts high school, right? And the two guys that I had huge crushes on, I asked both of them out on a date via a handwritten note with the classic yes, no, maybe box check off situation at 15 years old. So a little old to be doing that, but
it's
also
beautiful.
the confidence I had as a teenager to just go for the people I liked. But here's the thing, and this will track once you hear
they're both gay.
They're both gay, and they not only are they both gay, they dated each other. It was like I asked both of them out the same year. They are two great, like, one of them was a junior, one of them was a freshman like me, not in the same realm at school at all, yet they somehow, and also couldn't be more different types.
Oh my gosh.
And yet they both were gay and also dated each other. And I was like,
amazing.
And then I've been reflecting on my own gay journey lately with my best friend Emily, where I'm like, when I think back, what a funny way for the queerness to show up is that the only guys I ever liked were gay. And that
same, yeah.
carried into adulthood.
How you realize you're gay.
Yeah.
That made me remember that part of my NYU trauma was my audition. When I went in, I applied early decision, and I did the first audition you could do.
Oh my God.
And the guy just clearly was not interested. There were only 4 of us there, and he was not interested in me. But then they ask you at your audition, what's like the hardest thing you've ever been through?
Oh my God.
Why? I don't know. And I was like, do you want the real answer, or you just want like an answer? And he was like, no, you can say the real answer. I burst into tears. I'm like, my mom's an alcoholic. And he was like, and then we kind of like moved on, but I was like sobbing. I was like, it's really hard. And then we get to, he's like, okay, like, what's your favorite play? Like, what made you want to get into theater? And I said Cats the musical. And then I saw that I didn't get in, like, on his face. In that moment, I was like, I'm not getting into NYU.
He was a theater snob.
Because he was like, and I was like, I just love Cats the musical so much.
He's like,
and he was like, you need to leave.
Speaking of, shout out to your Jellicles dude. Can Jellicles do leg tattoos? Orin is a huge fan of cats, so much so that he reproduced an unlicensed
in 2018
run of it at the Lyric Hyperion,
which you were not in.
I wasn't in, but I wanted to be in, but I was out of town during the audition.
Couldn't audition.
It was like I couldn't audition, and then you were like, it's fine, but then I think it was like Ember.
Well, I was doing it with Ember, and Ember really wanted everyone to audition
in person. Which is fair. And I was like, but I because the way I want to be in a musical again so bad as an adult.
I really want to do it again.
We should do it.
I think it would be really fun to do Cats again.
This time I'm gonna do it, but we did do the Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime. I was in the Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime show,
which I recreated also at the Lyric Hyperion.
Yes, that was so much fun in 2019.
Yeah, in 2019 it was amazing. Built a flying rid that was just a door frame on wheels, and I had like a whole harness, but it only got me like 18 inches off the ground. So I I had to like rotate my body forward so that it would look like I was flying, but I truly was like waist height, like so low.
The way we were in rehearsals for months learning how to do the actual choreography from Lady Gaga's Super Bowl halftime show, complete like
you can line them up side by side, and
I would actually would be such a funny like react video or whatever on YouTube.
I just rewatched it recently.
Did you?
And I was like, this is crazy. It's so good.
Something from it came up in my iPhone memories not too long ago. I think I maybe texted it to you.
Of us
around
the flying rig.
Oh my God, it's so good. What a funny time. That was one of the best things I've ever been part of.
It was so fun. And I didn't, with the flying rig, I didn't measure like the doorway of the Lyric Hyperion when I had it built. So I showed up, it wouldn't fit through the door. So I had to take it apart outside with like a drill, like,
Oh
because it
my
was like
God.
wooden. I had to
That's
take it
so
apart,
funny.
bring all the pieces inside the theater, build it back together inside the theater, and then like I just left it in there, and they were so mad at me. They're like, "You have to get this out of here."
Was that when Dimitri was running things there?
No, it was when
Probably.
John Norris was running it.
Oh, okay. I'm
I
like,
think John Norris was Dimitri was running it when we did Cats.
okay.
But then John Norris was running it for the Lady Gaga show.
Lyric Hyperion's been through a lot of people managing that
Yes,
place.
it has.
God, I'm like, I used to fucking live there because we did red carpet comedy there for a year, and also
I know. I
Margot
used to
used to work
live
there.
there.
Like we were there all the time. Now it's the Elysian
Now
that
it,
people
yeah,
live
and now
at.
Jake Kroger's running Lyric Hyperion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He is. That's
He
so
is.
funny. Talk about a LA comedy staple. Comedy Bureau. Shout out to Jake Kroger.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Can you recall a time you thought you were totally fine and like your behavior was totally normal, but now you look back and you're like, oh wow, I was really going through it, huh?
Last week. Probably when I was in college dating my college boyfriend. I thought that that was a totally fine situation, but in reality, I was being so freaking crazy. It's insane. When we broke up, okay, now I'm thinking of like a few. Okay, I've had a history of cyberbullying when I was younger. When I was younger, the way I would take out my anger is to cyberbully. And I cyberbullied my ex-boyfriend so fucking. I feel so bad. We
Oh
both
my
apologized to each other
God.
for everything, and
Well, God
it's all
bless.
good. But yeah, I would tweet really horrible things, but like they were funny jokes. But his dad followed me on Twitter and would like the tweets
What?
because his dad like thought they were funny.
Oh
But
my
in
God.
retrospect, that was not
His
okay. I
dad was
should not
also
have.
bullying
His
him.
dad was also bullying him. It was so wrong. And then when my dad and my stepmom got together, it was drama, and I was very angry. And I went on her Facebook and I commented on all of her posts and all of her photos,
Oh my God.
pictures of us with my mom, like as children, like family photos. And then she messaged me. She's amazing. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
At the time I didn't know her. I was just very mad at her. And then she messaged me and was like, "Hey, like, if you want to talk, here's my email. Like, I'm happy to talk about anything." I emailed her just a really crazy email that you can bleep this part, but I said, "You us.
Oh my God.
You and my dad both emotionally us." And I read it to my therapist, and my therapist said it was okay to send.
Oh my.
My therapist was like, the only thing you have to take out, there was like a part where I was like, "I'm going to spit on you next time I see you." And my therapist was like, "You can't threaten like physical violence in
Oh my.
writing."
But you can
So,
say.
well, she said, "You have to say you'll spit at her feet. You can't say you'll spit on her."
She's just she's oh
She
my
edited,
God,
but
she's
she
editing
didn't
your
tell me to take out
threats.
the part. I was like,
That's psychotic.
I know in retrospect, and we've never talked about it. Now we have like a really good relationship, but we never talked
Oh
about
my
the
God.
fact that I sent her that.
That is
All good.
all good, no biggie.
All good. But
Like,
yeah, that's definitely a
all good,
time where I
bro.
thought it was okay to behave that way, and now I'm like, you
Oh.
can't do that no matter how
Oh
mad you
my
are.
God.
You can't cyberbully people, and you can't send emails like that. You have to rein it in a little
You
bit.
have to work through your
Yeah, you gotta
emotions in a
calm
different
down
way.
and then talk about your feelings.
And that's the power of the pause. And that's something that
Yes.
gets, it's hard, but as you get older, you go, wait a minute, maybe I don't
Yeah.
react from this place.
No.
Maybe I
have to wait
take a
till
deep
I'm
breath,
not mad anymore.
talk to a friend,
Yeah.
come back down to earth a little
Yeah.
bit. I had that where I had a recent thing where someone triggered the fuck out of me and said something to me that felt so disrespectful. I was like,
Mm.
oh, I got so fucking mad and heated. And then I was like, I actually can't engage with this person right now. And I like called my best friend and was just like crying to her
Yeah.
on the phone. And good. I'm glad I did
It
that.
happens to me about 12 times a day.
Yeah.
12 times a day, someone says something that is so disrespectful, so out of line, so demeaning, so rude. I'm full of rage. I don't say anything.
Yeah.
And usually that's for the best because it's not that big of a deal. You know.
We need more. I know there are like rage rooms exist, but we do need more tools to move through anger in healthy ways, because it's like anger and grief are the two things that we avoid like the fucking plague in our society, where it's like, don't show that emotion,
Right.
don't show that one. And
I've
we're
learned
all,
you
and then
just
we're all like pent up, and then it comes out in all these like all other
I
fucked
just
up
funnel
ways.
it into my plays.
There you go,
I'm
exactly.
just like, let's have all these people say the rudest things possible to each other, and I will be a completely normal,
and
nice
also
person.
scream while doing
Right?
it. Very cathartic.
And
I'm
in my
obsessed.
personal life, I don't do that ever at all to anyone. So
No big deal.
yeah.
Totally innocent. Okay. Whew. I love the ground we're covering today. Could you share with me and the listeners what you might consider to be your weirdest coping mechanism, or just like any kind of coping mechanism, weird coping mechanism, something that you do to like regulate yourself?
I think my like obsession with like my exercise hobbies,
Oh,
like for a
yeah.
while it was gymnastics,
Yeah.
and then everyone was like, you're an amazing gymnast, and I was like, no, I'm obsessed with gymnastics. There's a difference. I can barely do a cartwheel, but I am at the gymnastics gym like 10 hours a week.
I remember that era.
Working my ass off, unable to do literally anything. But for like 5 years I was putting all of my energy into that, and it was fun.
It was, I mean,
It was
I
great.
was
It was fun.
impressed.
Yeah.
And also you would then bring the gymnastics leotards into your comedy
Yes.
performance art as
There
well.
was a lot that was beneficial and was working, but there was a lot where at some point I had to admit, girl, you've been doing this for 5 years and you still can't do a cartwheel. Like something isn't working. Now
That's-
it's swimming.
Yeah, I was about to
which,
say now
yeah,
you're on the swimming
I'm
journey.
on the swimming journey.
Yeah, how's
So,
that going? Any
great.
still like weird old guys being weird to you?
Well, just yesterday I was swimming and I was like, oh, I used to be on an adult swim team
Mhm.
where we would practice every morning at 5:30 in the morning at Harvard Westlake, and it was me and a bunch of like 50 to 60-year-old men who were fast.
Yeah.
And they would be like, you look like a boat when you swim. And yesterday I was swimming, I was like, oh, I miss when they used to call me a boat. Now nobody calls me a boat anymore.
Is anyone even paying attention to me at all?
Exactly. I'm
What
like,
the
nobody at the
fuck?
Verdugo Aquatic Facility even cares enough to say I look like a boat. So I'm just swimming for me, I guess.
Oh, well,
But yeah,
hey, and that's healthy.
Just obsessive exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm with you there. To the like, that's what dance became for me. And then it
Yes.
was like to the point where I'm like making injuries worse because I
Right.
can't stop.
No,
I'm like,
right.
no, I must. And it's like,
Exactly.
girl, take a fucking. Then I break my toe. I have to take a breather. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm learning the lesson to listen to my body or
And
whatever.
even when I was fully so concussed I couldn't read or like move, I was going to the pool and like easy swimming. Like, what the hell? I was like, my body
Girl.
needs it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Your
It-
body needs to lay down.
Your body needs rest, babe.
Yeah,
It needs
stop
rest.
it.
You need to recover.
But I have to cope.
Oh, yeah. And the
Oh yeah, but we can't talk about that.
yeah,
'cause
no,
they
oh,
got
that's right.
canceled
Oops,
really
they're
bad.
canceled. That's right.
Yeah.
My bad. We'll cut that part out. The wrestling that doesn't exist anymore that
Yeah.
you did for a second, that okay, it's fine.
Thank God it's over.
Thank God it's over. Okay, and then also, could you share what you would consider to be your most problematic opinion that you're willing to admit on a public podcast?
I'll share something that I have corrected myself on, and then I'll share my actual most problematic
Okay,
opinion.
I love that.
I really, until recently, felt that okay, and this is wrong. I admit it, and I've been educated. I thought for the most part ADHD is not real. I know that you suffer with it,
Yes.
so I don't want to offend you, but
That's
I
so funny.
was like, it's not real. And then my girlfriend has really bad ADHD, and I was taking a lot of the symptoms personally.
Right.
You know, I'm like, she doesn't care about my time. She doesn't care about how messy the room is. Like, just all these things. And then I was talking to my therapist about it, and my therapist was like, does she have ADHD? And I was like, well, come on, that's not real. And she was like, no, it's literally, and then she described the science of it to me, and she was like, it's literally real.
It's so
And if
funny.
you acknowledge that it's real, like, your relationship will get better because you won't be taking these things personally that are
Yeah.
not personal. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
you're so right about that. And then I opened my eyes
yeah.
to it. So that was a really problematic opinion.
That's so funny.
And I feel
So
now I
funny.
feel bad about having
Yeah.
felt that for so many years.
I
but-
mean, it makes sense because of the internet of it all
right.
and
I
the
think it was
self-diagnosis
just I
of it
felt
all.
people on the internet were being annoying.
Yes.
Uh,
Which
but-
is so fair, because also there are the type of people who want to like internet of it all, but then also use it as an excuse to be shitty.
Right. So
As
I just
opposed
was
to
like,
this is just
this isn't real, but
yeah,
it is real.
it is real.
It's real, and people struggle, and the people around them struggle. It
Yeah.
is real.
It's real, and it's also just, it's one of those things, it's like the framing is only because of the way society is built, where it's just like
Right.
people got different brains that
Right.
work in different ways.
Come on.
And we all have it works really well for me in these certain ways where I can really fucking lock in if I'm super interested. But in other ways I suffer because we have to go to our day jobs and
Right.
live in capitalism
But-
and blah,
so
blah, blah.
I've
But
been corrected.
yeah, thank God. And I would just real quick say that it was funny because I was in denial about my own ADHD for a long time, and I didn't come to realize it until maybe 2 years ago. And it was because I was noticing, I was like, my mom definitely has ADHD. And then I'm thinking in the genetic, and anyway, I bring it to my therapist, and then she validates me. She's like, that totally makes sense for you. And then I'll forget, and then I come back to her and I'm complaining about a thing, oh, this just weird thing about me. And then every time I do that, she goes, that's really common for people with ADHD. And I go,
Period.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that's just a thing that is not just a me thing. I used to be I'm a Sagittarius, so my brain's like a pinball machine. That was what I used to truly think. It's no, I'm just a fire sign.
I was like, my girlfriend's annoying. No, that's not what it is.
Not fair.
My girlfriend's annoying and she can never get out the door on time and it's disrespectful. It's no, she's not disrespecting me. That's crazy. What?
Okay, what's your actual
current
one?
Okay, I kind of have two. One of them I'm not going to get too into, but I kind of feel like a lot of, and I'll just speak for trans guys, I feel like they are the testosterone's making me crazy. No, bitch, you're just crazy. You're just crazy. You're just crazy. That's it. It's not the hormones.
Period.
It's not the, it's not.
It's you and it's your brain.
Because my experience of being on hormones is that nothing changed.
You're
so my experience is the only one that matters.
You're not, I know the reality now, and you're fucking
You were
lying,
crazy
bitch.
before the hormones, okay?
Yeah.
And now you're just feeling more comfortable in yourself, and therefore more comfortable to express how crazy you actually are. Okay, and then my other one is that I think we should be able to give actual feedback after we see our friends' shows.
Totally.
I think we should be able, because there's a lot of crap happening.
There's a lot of crap.
And I think there would be less crap if we could all just be honest and say, I love you so much. I think you're such an amazing performer, or whatever it is. These are things I would work on.
Totally. Which was I mean, thank God for shout out Sophia Cleary
yes,
in the rehearsal
Sophia's
workshop,
great
which I've taken twice.
Amazing.
Where I'm because part
it's built-in criticism.
Yes, but that's what it was. It's the last few years have been so healing for me, for my own inner critic, where I would stop myself from ever even trying to do a thing because of how much I'm beating myself up in my brain. And dance and that workshop were both very healing for that. And okay, girly, relax. And actually, feedback is a gift.
It's a gift,
and you know that it's not finished, and you're
Right.
working on it, and you're trying to figure it out. So it's actually so helpful to see how it's coming off to people.
Yeah.
And I even if I was performing a V1 for an audience, I'd be like, give me your fucking thoughts for real. I want to know.
But people are so scared to do it. And I'm sorry, someone needs to tell the clowns that taking a shit on stage is not clown.
That's
Making
so
yourself
funny.
throw up on stage is not
nasty.
funny.
It's just fucking
disgusting.
gross. It's disgusting. I went to a show like that years ago at UCB where it was the whole point was to gross you out, and people were chugging milk to puke. People were miming stapling their pussies. I was
come up with an actual idea.
Right. I was this is just shock value bullshit and doesn't mean or say anything, and it's not funny. So what the fuck are we doing here?
I used to have this problem with stand-up too, where I'm sometimes it's not even oh, they're going for shock value. It's just that they don't have an idea.
Yeah.
And then they're standing on stage, and I'm supposed
wasting
to
our time.
I'm supposed to laugh at something you're doing. You're not doing anything.
Right. And then what was I gonna say? Which this we'll sign off in a second.
Stop looking at the phones. Stop looking at your notebook. It's a show.
It's a show.
At an open mic, you can do that.
Yes.
At a show,
no.
Put it away and perform.
Put it away and perform, bitch.
Or else I'm allowed to boo you.
Yeah. And them's the rules.
I got screamed at an open mic once because I booed someone for doing transphobic material.
Yeah.
It was one of the last open mics I ever went to. He was doing transphobic stuff, so I booed him. And then everyone started yelling at me.
Of course.
And I was like, no, if an audience is allowed to make whatever noises they want.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue into the last thing I want to talk to you about before we sign off, which is the thing that we can definitely trauma bond over is experiencing open mic comedy on the east side of LA from like 2016 to 2019 and all of the nasty ass cis straight white men bullies in that space. Straight up bullies.
Because I feel like back then there were not nearly as many queer people. There weren't nearly as many trans. I didn't know really any other trans people in that scene.
No.
Like, it was so brutal.
We
and those
started
men were
infiltrating
disgusting.
it. Like, I feel like truly
And
like our
pissed.
era of like coming up of
Yeah.
comedians and like performers, just like clowns and alt performers, we were like daring to go to these open mic spaces and I was doing pretty traditional stand up for the most part, but I was still like in a more like edgy, I'm like a woman and I'm challenging a lot of like ideas about what a woman can say, or like even just like being a woman who's not thin and like daring to speak out loud, and like a lot of things that or talking about sex in a specific kind of way. And the energy of like, and Margot and I, that was like our whole ethos when we started Red Carpet Comedy, was we will never have more than one straight white guy, if any, on the lineup. And we're like, and it's actually so easy to do that because there's so many talented people in LA who aren't that. And yet it was like no one had ever thought that would like they
those
could
guys
do that
are so
before.
fucking dumb, and if I could remember any of their names, I would name them now and call them out.
I
But
remember their fucking
literally
names.
can't remember their names.
I remember
that's
their names
how irrelevant
because they're irrelevant, but they did scar me so deeply. They drove me away from ever going to open mics. Like, I was just like, I can't go be around that.
Literally, the
energy ever
last one I
again.
actually ever went to, this guy was talking about beheading his robot girlfriend. It was
Okay.
like, I was like, I'm so over this. Y'all can have fun. You're dumb as shit.
Dumb as shit. And then when I was hosting open mics and people would pull that shit on stage, I would just be like fucking trashing on them as soon as I got up to host. Similarly, people would be like, why are you being so hard on that guy? I'm like, don't say racist shit at my open mic. How about that?
So dumb.
Okay,
anyway,
now I'm
but
heated
Rafa's
again.
was amazing.
It was
so fun.
I'm so happy we met there, and now
know,
all
me
these
too.
years later, still,
I know.
I love you so much.
Yeah, you were like my first LA friend.
Yeah. Oh, Orin, I'm so happy with it. Even after all these crazy tech challenges we've had today, we were able to successfully record a podcast episode. What?
I just have one question.
What?
So the tea didn't affect your like emotions, but you're yelling at your girlfriend because she's not getting ready fast enough.
I was like that before. I was like that before testosterone.
Or
I've
that's
always
just
been like
Orin's,
that.
That's just Orin's natural state. And that's where he's allowed to say, you were crazy before the hormones,
That's what I'm
girl.
saying is you were crazy before. Stop blaming it on the hormones.
You're just able to
You
freely
are
be
crazy.
like, that's so fucking funny. Oh my God. Oh, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been truly a blast, and I love you.
I know, this is so fun. I love you too.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for listening to Trauma Bond with Theresa Bateman. This podcast is hosted, created, and edited by me, Theresa Bateman, produced by Ali Giordani. Our perfect theme song is written and performed by Tolliver. We are an independent podcast, so if you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. And you can also join us as a paid subscriber on Substack for any exclusive bonus content, or if you just want to support the podcast and what we do. Bye!
And light another dude, cause it's what? It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. Them boys, they love the trauma. Them girls, they love the drama. NB just slapped my mama. Oh God, here comes the karma. Let's go. It's time to trauma bond, 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 bond. It's time to trauma